One morning, Jack sat at the corner of a quiet cafe, organizing his magazines and sipping his coffee, but his mind was far from the present moment. Life had not been kind to him lately. He had been unemployed for months, and the financial pressure was becoming unbearable. Every day seemed like a struggle, and the weight of uncertainty hung heavy on his shoulders. His phone lay next to him, a constant reminder of the job applications he'd sent out, yet no responses. He tried to stay hopeful, but the long stretch of unemployment was starting to wear him down. Around him, people laughed and chatted, the sounds of everyday life continuing, while he felt completely detached. It was as though the world was moving forward without him. The door of the cafe creaked open, and in walked a figure that Jack immediately recognized: Barron Trump. He had seen Barron's name in newspapers and on the television, always surrounded by news and controversy. But here in this small, unassuming cafe, Barron seemed almost out of place, like someone from another world. His presence commanded attention, but he didn't flaunt it. He quietly made his way to a table, his security team trailing discreetly behind. Jack couldn't help but watch him from the corner of his eye. There was something about Barron that intrigued him. He wasn't just a famous figure to Jack. There was a curiosity, a sense of wonder about what this man might be like in real life, far removed from the media portrayal. As Jack watched Barron, a part of him felt conflicted. He had been struggling for so long, wondering if anyone out there really understood how hard it was to get by, to keep going when it felt like everything was slipping away. Jack was exhausted, mentally and physically, from trying to make ends meet. The bills were piling up, his savings were dwindling, and his dreams felt more distant than ever. It was easy to feel like no one cared, like he was invisible in the chaos of the world. Yet as he observed Barron sitting so calmly at his table, Jack couldn't shake the feeling that something was about to change. Maybe, just maybe, today could be different. Jack returned to his thoughts, trying to focus on his magazine, but something tugged at him. As Barron finished his coffee and stood up to leave, he did something unexpected. Barron reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out an envelope, placing it gently on the table. Jack's heart skipped a beat. It wasn't the money that caught his attention, it was the gesture. There was something deeply personal about it. Jack sat frozen for a moment, watching as Barron walked out of the cafe, oblivious to the curious gaze now fixed upon the envelope. After a few moments of hesitation, Jack's curiosity got the better of him. He stood up and approached the table, his heart pounding. He looked around to see if anyone was watching before reaching for the envelope. His hands trembled as he opened it. Inside, there was a short, handwritten note. "I know you've been through tough times, but remember, every dark night ends with the rise of the sun." Jack felt his breath catch in his throat. He had expected it to be just another act of charity, but this message was different. It wasn't just a donation. It was a message of hope, a lifeline thrown in the middle of his darkest hour. As he pulled out the cash inside the envelope, his mind raced. Who would do something like this for a complete stranger? Overwhelmed with emotion, Jack pulled out his phone and immediately began typing. He couldn't keep this to himself. This was bigger than just him. This was about the kindness and compassion that the world so often overlooked. He shared the story on his social media accounts, and within moments, the post went viral. People from all over the world started commenting. They were moved by Barron's kindness, but more importantly, they were inspired. Jack wasn't the only one who had faced tough times. Many shared their own struggles and how they managed to overcome them. What started as a simple act of generosity was now turning into something bigger, a movement, a reminder that people still cared. As the days passed, Jack felt a shift within himself. He wasn't just motivated by the financial help he had received. It was the trust, the belief that someone had seen his struggle and decided to help, not out of obligation, but out of compassion. It was a powerful feeling, one that rekindled the fire of hope within him. Jack found himself waking up earlier, making more effort to stay positive and looking at life through a different lens. The note from Barron was no longer just a reminder of a random act of kindness. It had become a personal mantra for him. Every dark night ends with the rise of the sun, Jack thought, and he knew that this was the beginning of his own personal transformation. Jack's life began to change. The small act of kindness from Barron Trump had not only provided financial relief, but had also shifted Jack's perspective on life. It was a reminder that in the midst of hardship, there were people who still cared, who still believed in the goodness of others. Jack's journey wasn't just about surviving anymore. It was about thriving, about finding joy even in the small moments. And all of this began with a simple envelope left on a cafe table. Jack now knew that sometimes a single gesture, a kind word, or a simple touch could change the course of someone's life. Barron's kindness had shown him that there was always hope, and sometimes a helping hand is all we need to get back on our feet. Sometimes the hardest moments in life can be transformed by the smallest gestures. Just like Jack's story, a single act of kindness can light up a dark path. Barron Trump's simple gesture didn't just change Jack's financial situation, it gave him a renewed sense of hope. Remember, after the darkest nights, the sun always rises. If we choose to give hope to others, we make the world a brighter place for all. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an uplifting story. Share your thoughts on this story in the comments below and tell us about the moments that changed your life. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories and life lessons. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and keep believing in the power of kindness.